All right. Thank you. What was that? I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the this episode of the Blerd Talk podcast with guest Netta. Welcome back to the podcast. You were on the last one, the benefits of matriarchy,
Yeah,
and
that one.
people valued your opinion. They valued your opinion. They thought you made some good points, and so thank you for that. Um, but today we're going to discuss are women being raised like men. So when when I first thought of this topic, apparently this has been a kind of a hot topic because within the last month, Bishop T.D. Jakes, I don't follow him, I don't listen to him, but apparently he made some controversial statements and it's become of a hot topic or whatever. So before I get on what he has said, I feel like you're obviously a daughter. I have a daughter, right? We, as a father, as a parent, or as a father, I want to raise my daughter to be independent and strong, right? But I
As you
think,
should.
right. So I think that that strong. Would you say that strong and independence are more associated with masculinity than anything?
I think for black women, it's more associated with masculinity than anything. Because you look at women in other cultures and they're spicy just like us. Like, they're able to take care of their families, provide. They even have the same expectations of having a man. If you're going to be here, contribute, be valuable.
Hmm.
And all of that's okay. And then us, it's just like, oh no, you're acting like a man. You won't let a man do X, Y, and Z. It's just like, it's only with us, not
So
anybody else.
so that leads into what Bishop T.D. Jake said, right? So I'm a one of the quotes that he said was, "If Adam had not allowed Eve to pour into him, sin would never have come into this world. Sin came into the world because Adam broke the. You seem stressed.
No,
Adam broke the order. We were not designed to receive from women. Your self-esteem is compromised when you have to ask your wife for lunch money." Now, I'm not religious by any means, right? But that seems kind of, I don't know what the word is. But what are your thoughts on that? If you just go off that quote. So when I looked at the comments it was on the YouTube. When I looked at the comments, people were saying you should watch the whole sermon. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to focus on that quote right there. So what's your opinion on that?
so it makes it seem like Adam is the victim. One, which is completely opposite of what we're told that men are supposed to be. Y'all are supposed to be stronger than us. Y'all are supposed to be more dominant than us. So how is it that this woman coerced you to do anything? Like, how are you the victim but the superior one at the same time? Make it make sense. It don't. But it's crazy because me and my best friend were talking this morning and she brought up something that she read that a psychologist said that women were first. Life came from women,
Mm.
not men. It wasn't the other way around. And the we didn't get deep into it because it was a short conversation. Just kind of brought it up because we talk about random stuff like that. And one of the points was that like women can basically create life on our own, and theoretically, based off what this psychologist think, is that women created men to basically hold and help spread the DNA.
Mm.
It wasn't men first and then women like Christianity or a lot of other religions teach you. It was women, then men. I thought that was interesting, you know.
So
I even have thoughts on that. Like, a lot of just not just human species, a lot of species, a life starts with a woman. It comes
mm.
from
But
the the female version of that species.
he didn't stop there. It was a 2 minute clip. He he didn't stop with that. He was saying how women are not applauded for their femininity. He was saying they're applauded to in society to be rough, tough, mean, nasty, aggressive. Uh, but women are climbing the corporate ladder, but they're not family oriented. I guess he was saying. He was saying they're not. They're losing their families. What? Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? I just want to pick your brain with each
So,
little thing he said.
as a generation, us women, we have grandmas, we have great grandmas. You know what these women are telling us? Don't get married.
Oh wow.
Don't have no kids. Go live your life. Go ahead, get your career. They are telling us this. My granny has 6 kids. You know how many times she tell me don't have kids?
So so is that, does that contribute to generational curses or something, or is that?
I don't I don't think it contributes to generational curses. I think they're encouraging us to live our lives and take the opportunities that they didn't have. Most of them got married young or were expected to get married. Like if you got pregnant, you got married. Like it wasn't
Mm,
no other way. Right now, if I get pregnant, I don't have to marry the man that I'm having a child with. I don't even have to have any association personally with him outside of the benefit of my child because I'm fully able and capable of providing and doing what I need to do to provide the lifestyle for my child. The only thing I would want him to do if we're not together is make sure you're in our child's life so y'all have a relationship. So they get the benefit of the things that a child gets from a father. I'm not saying, oh, you can't be in my house, you can't associate with my kid. No, but we don't have to be together. Whereas in the past, women didn't have the ability to have the jobs that we have now. Be even it's not perfect. It's still a struggle, but like there are a lot of black women that are CEOs of some companies, women period, that are CEOs and running companies, running their own companies, able to
mm,
just provide the lifestyle for themselves and their families, whether it be the kids that they have, their nieces, nephews, parents, whatever the case may be. It's a lot more opportunity. We were told to go to school, we went to school, and now y'all complaining that we putting our education to use to make money.
okay. So so with that being said, he, I guess he, on the back end of that particular quote, he was like, we know, he was like, men to women, really, we know you can buy your own house, we know you can buy your own car. He said, but see, he's saying that women are, or black women are trying to make it seem like we're indispensable, like to show us how replaceable we are as men.
Because we expect y'all to do more. Because a lot of men, not all, not even gonna say most, but a lot of men expect, oh, I can provide for you financially, so that's good enough.
Hmm.
No, it's not. I need more than you being able to. I can provide for myself. I'm good. What about my emotional support? What about my mental support? What about even helping me out with my physical support? Like in my situation now, like my partner is also my accountability partner. So when it comes to my health and my weight loss journey and all of that, he's holding me accountable. That's beneficial in
Hmm.
somebody that I choose to have in my life and be intimate with. So if you're not helping me in a sense in that way, I don't need you. Like you have men have to do more than just provide financially because we can provide financially. And now it's like it's a problem because we want you to do more for us. Before it was the man went to work all day, came home, he went to work all day, made the money, came home and sat the fuck down. Like you won't help him with the kids, he won't, cleaning the dishes because she didn't cook
Hmm.
dinner or like those things weren't happening. And now we want partners. We don't want somebody that's expecting me to go to work all day, just like you went to work all day. And then after my 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, you want me to come home and cook and clean. And if we got kids, I gotta tend to the kids and make sure homework is done, bath time is done, put them to bed. And if they're little kids, who know it's a fit to get children to go to sleep.
Yeah,
All while
definitely.
you get to sit here and chill, watch the game, play the game, do whatever it is, and not contribute to any of the rest of the things that make this household run. But I still gotta go to work. No.
So so it seemed like the comments. I think Plies had retweeted it, and he said he was going to use that clip for like a song or whatever. Anyway, so a lot of comments were split. Live is 50-50. Some people, some women were saying that African American women had no choice but to step in the role of a man. He said there's no woman who doesn't want a provider or a protector, but when you've done it for so long, it's hard to like cut that off and then just be, I guess, submissive in a way.
Because you have to show me. If I've been taking care of myself all this time. Like I have support from my family. My mom is helpful. My granny is like my mom just came to visit because I was sad. She came in for a week just because I was sad. So like I'm well taken care of in my family, and I'm taught to take care of myself. So if you decide to insert yourself into my life, there's a certain standard I expect. I'm not gonna just say, "Oh, you're the man, cool." I'm going to submit to you. I'm going to be soft with you. You have to show me that you're able to protect me, provide for me. And again, not just financially. Like when women say provide, we don't mean just money. And
Mm-hmm.
that is a part that is missed. If you're not, that you have a plan. Like if you're not showing me you can take care of yourself, why in the world would I even trust that you can take care of me and you, let alone a family? Like, no. And it does take time. You don't just turn over the reins to somebody just because they show up. Like, let's say you wanted to move on from your podcast and somebody just like, oh, I can do it. You're not about to just be like, all right, here you go.
Yeah, that's dead.
Show me your credentials.
I
Prove
put
to
too
me
much
that you
work
can
into
do
it.
this. Right. This is your baby. My life. Me. I'm my baby. So you don't get to just say, well, follow me and no. Where are we going? How
Yeah.
you plan to get us there?
Yeah.
How we gonna work this out?
Okay. I, all right. I get it. I get where you're coming from. Because I think that, I mean, you're not the only one that feels like that. So, another comment was saying nothing deep here. Women can be anything they want. Most households need two incomes these days. And how many men honestly share 50-50 with the cooking, cleaning, and the kids? Quit bashing women. She is almost always the one who sacrifices the most.
Yes. My best friend brought up that point we were talking. She was like, we sacrifice our bodies. We change our last name. Because think about it. If me and you, we decide to get married, we're together. We're going to build a life together. We want to have a family.
Mm-hmm.
Me having a baby affects my career. So I have to give up, not necessarily completely give up my career, but I got to pause it. Because, all right, I can work up until a certain point, depending on my pregnancy. If it's a healthy one where I'm not put on bed rest early, if it's not a high risk pregnancy and all these other things that happen to us, just take all those things out. Just a simple, healthy, run of the mill, textbook pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
I can work up until a certain point. And then after I have this baby, I can't work. I got to still be home. Like in that time frame of missing work, I've probably missed promotions. I've probably, possible promotion at work, sales opportunities, whatever kind of job that I work, I've missed opportunities within that. So I've had to sacrifice that. Yes, it was a choice and a decision that we made together, but people miss that that's what women do. And then when you look at the other part of it, pregnancy is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's 100% dangerous. Like I'm risking, every time a woman gets pregnant, she's risking her life. Whether she either almost dies giving birth or there's some type of health issue that happens from birth. So again, we're sacrificing our bodies. A lot of women bodies don't go back to where they were after they have kids, especially if they're older. So I'm sacrificing my body, my self-esteem. Postpartum depression is a big thing and can last, I think, about 5 to 6 years. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That is a long time to deal with depression for having a baby that you want and you love. And then if you don't have the support from the man that you chose to have this child with, that makes the situation even harder. We sacrifice a lot, and men just get to, if you decide to leave, then you get to leave. I don't have a choice. I keep my baby. Get to go and see the baby when you want to.
So
We do sacrifice more, and it's not like I don't want to make it seem like, oh, we're not the victims. We know exactly what we're getting into, but when you tell us that this is what you're going to do for us, we expect you to do that. We expect this to be a partnership. We expect to be a team. And then a lot of men change their mind and then wonder why women are spazzing.
So one of the viewers, he's a member of the podcast, or I guess maybe part time. I don't know. Anyway, so Jock, he said he commented on the Twitch and said, "What about humans just being competent? Like any person should be able to cook, clean, etc. for themselves. Now in a household, maybe split these tasks, but also." If you can afford it, a lot of people just hire people to do it nowadays. I'm a bit lost as to why this is such a point to fight on. And he said he's freelance, so he comes and goes when he wants.
I mean, but he does have a point. Like, I don't want to be with a man that I don't know can cook, clean, and contribute to the house. Mm-hmm. Like, especially with where we are now. A lot of people want to look at how things used to be. Oh, I want a relationship like my grandma had and my grandpa had. But, like, you're not being what grandpa was. But at the same time, the economy don't look that way. The world doesn't look that way. Like, it is expensive as hell just to survive, let alone live and thrive. Like, just surviving takes a lot. And, like, I live alone. I pay bills by myself. Like, it's a lot to just do everything on your own. So I don't want to be with somebody that can't do those things,
Hmm.
but I also am all for paying somebody to do those things. Like I have these
I
four girls
think
come.
didn't you? I think I
Yes,
talked to you. Oh,
four girls
a while
come clean
ago.
my apartment every other week. They come every other
Yeah, yeah,
week
yeah.
together.
I was just about to
Yes,
ask that. Like, I think I remember you telling me that before. That you said, "Oh, I wish I could just pay somebody to just do X, Y,
I'm
Z."
paying somebody. I am paying somebody every 2 weeks to come in here and help me. It's not even do it for me. I told them I was like, this is a collaborative thing. So there are certain things that I do before they get here, and then when
Hmm.
they get here, they do other things. Like they don't wash my clothes. I wash my own clothes. I hang up my own clothes. I wash, I make up my own bed. If I don't do the dishes before they get here, they'll load the dishwasher for me. And last week when I got out their way, I mean, no, we can close. Whenever last time they came, I was like, okay, y'all, I'll be back, and went and did what I needed to do.
And just left.
I left. Let me get out y'all way. And it's always the best feeling. And I live alone. I don't have no kids. I don't have no pet. I got a plant in me. That's it. And it is still the best feeling because I'm taking a break from school right now, but I'm planning to go back in November. I got a business that I'm growing, and I work full time, and my job is draining. I talk to people all day long. I'm a supervisor and a trainer, so I'm
Hmm.
talking to people all day, and I'm an introvert. So that's just
It's a lot.
draining.
So,
It's
do you think the lack of father figures contribute to girls growing into women and being like, I don't need no man to do this and that? Do you think the lack
I,
of it?
I think so, but not for the reason that you might think. I think so because of the relationship with the mothers, the father's relationships with the mothers.
Hmm.
And this is not blaming men, and it's not blaming men, it's not blaming women. It's just saying different situations happen differently because I see men fighting to be in their kids' lives, and women are being petty and saying no, not
Hmm.
realizing how that's affecting their kids. But I also see women trying to get men to be in their kids' lives, and men are just like, whatever.
Hmm.
So it's both sides on there. I don't think it's because of the kids like not having the dad there. I think it's because of the relationship with their mother and that man being absent in that relationship. And so he's not able to come in, or he's not coming in and building the bond, building a relationship to show that I can trust me as a child, as a girl, I can trust men. Period. Like if you
Hmm.
say you're gonna show up, you show up. If you say you're gonna do, you're gonna do. On top of the moms that are like, you don't need nobody, we don't need nobody, I can take care of myself, I can do for myself, we don't need no man. Like I would love for somebody to be like, I got you. And
I
I
mean,
can
don't,
just
yeah, don't we all like?
I got you. You go to work if you want to. Oh, really? Like, and but that's just my mindset. If my partner was like, "Let's move in together. You don't have to work if you don't want to." Great. You're gonna come home. This house gonna be spotless. We gonna have cooked
So,
meals 5 out of 7 days. But that's just me and how I am.
so for you in that scenario, if a man take care of the household, I mean, take or makes the money, he's the breadwinner. You will submit and cook, clean, take care of kids if they're there.
Yeah,
So
most of the
it'll
time.
be like a traditional or a throwback relationship, I guess.
Not 100% traditional because like I still expect you to contribute because
Hmm.
I'm still going to bring in money. Like I'm not, if he's like I got it, I'm still going to work my business. Like this is for us, this is growth, so that's still going to bring
Okay.
in money into a home. So it's not like I'm not working or not doing something. I'm still going to have to, and then if I want to go buy some $300 heels, I want to hear nothing about
Oh.
spending $300 on heels. Like just don't say nothing to me about it. So it'll look slightly traditional, but I also still like don't think just because I'm here all day that I have to do it. And it don't have to be me. Again, I will be here all day and pay somebody to come help me clean because I got stuff to do.
Hmm.
It's still that job alone, just running a household is still a lot. I used to babysit for a lady that was a stay-at-home mom. I would just watch her kid just so she can go to yoga or Pilates or get her nails done or whatever it is she was doing and run some errands without having a toddler attached to her hip.
Hmm.
But it's really just what work. That's just me. That's not all women, and it's really just what works for the unit. And that's another thing I think people miss. Like if you're going to be in a relationship, you can't come in here and say, "Oh, things are going to be this way all the time." For you and me may not work for the next person. Me and my partner, if we decide to live together, we have income over $100,000. Whereas a partner I've had previously, we wouldn't be at that income amount. So
Mm-hmm.
that would have to look differently because it's less. Because lifestyles look different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So as as far as back to the father figure thing, uh, as you know, I have a daughter who I love and adore. She's just like me through and through. I love it. Uh, so me and her mom are not together, right? But what I have noticed, because I FaceTimed her last weekend, and now that she's 12, she's about to be a teenager. She's about to go through these things, and I'm bracing myself for it. But when I FaceTimed her, she was cleaning the kitchen, right? And she was cleaning the kitchen, and I was kind of like, wait, so you can operate like I mean I'm maybe I'm not giving her enough credit because she's
Oh,
a child, a 12. I'm probably underestimating my own child, but it was the fact that it said a lot to me that she was cleaning, like thoroughly cleaning the kitchen, and so I was like, wait, not that I didn't think she could, but it was an eye opener, and I like the fact that she's able to be not independent, but you know what I'm saying, she can do for herself, and I can only imagine as she get older, the more she can do, and I like the fact that I feel strongly that she will be independent. I'm not saying that oh no, you don't need no man. I'm not even going to put that in her head, but I like the fact that she, this is biased, but she's going to be a very strong black independent woman.
I mean,
And,
she is like you can tell she's strong now. Like she's
yeah.
fairly independent out. But I mean, at the same time, she has a black mother, so there are certain things that just as black women we're taught that we're supposed to do and how to do. Like I started cleaning and doing stuff, participating in the house when I was like 8 years old. I was washing dishes at like 8 or 9 years old, and you wouldn't think you're only 8. You're not about to watch. No,
Yeah.
cleaning, thoroughly cleaning dishes. Um, the my nephew and my little cousin, like they've gotten their chores a little later than what I did, but the 14-year-old, her responsibility is 2 out of 3 of the bathrooms in the house. Like you clean these every week. This is your responsibility. You help wash dishes. My nephew's 11. He washes dishes. He takes out the trash. Like they know you have to help. You have to contribute to the house that you live in. And I think teaching them that at a very early age, boy or girl, it doesn't matter. Teaching them that at a
Mm,
very early age will help eliminate the idea that these responsibilities belong to women and these responsibilities belong to men. I
mm.
think that is something that we can do. And I feel like you probably didn't give her enough credit, but you're also a dad. You're a girl dad. Y'all tend to be a little bit softer on your daughters than
I
on
heard
your
that.
sons.
I don't agree. I probably should, but I don't. But you're
Y'all
probably
are.
right. But you're not wrong. But I don't know if you're right. You know what I'm saying?
not
So
not soft in the sense of treating them like they can't do anything, but just like I think if you had a son, you'd have a little slightly different expectations
yeah.
of him and his because you're a man and
Mm,
you know what it takes to be a black man and survive and live in America. You're not a black woman, so your understanding of what it's going to take your daughter to be successful and grow and be a healthy human being in this world, in this society, in this country is a little different. It only comes from experiences that you see, hear, and talk to people about, nothing that you really know firsthand.
yeah.
So her mom is teaching her how to 100% take care of herself. She's
Mm.
gonna be good regardless, and that's what she's making sure of.
And
You are too, but just in a different
yeah, yeah. I
aspect.
think my viewpoint. We have different viewpoints on, but that's what co-parenting is about. We discuss things. There's some stuff I don't agree on. There's some stuff she don't agree on, but we try to work together to raise a functioning member of society when they become an adult. As far as so you were speaking earlier about how your grandmother was telling you certain things, right? So what's interesting about that, right? My mom is what I'm as far as I'm concerned, independent black woman, right? Strong black independent woman. So from what I understand, I didn't know my grandma like that. I didn't spend that much time with her, but I think the toughness came from my grandmother. My grandmother taught my mom, and then my mom, even though we're boys, it was taught to us. Like my mom didn't show. It wasn't a lot of emotion in the household. Not that she didn't care for us. She obviously loved me and my brother. She's our mother. But I always found it interesting that I wonder how it would things would have turned out if I was a female. Would I have adopted that same attitude towards life? Like I've never seen there wasn't a man in the house. There was no other male in the house but me and or my brother. So it's just like I wonder what that aspect is like for mothers. Well, actually, you probably just said it already. Like as far as my daughter's concerned, like her mother teaches her how to function and to
Yeah,
be
like
independent when she gets older.
in my house, it was just me, my mom, and my sister. Like there were occasionally we had like a family house where most of us may have been in and out, lived together occasionally, but most of the time it was just me, my mom, and my sister. And while my uncles were in my life as my father figures, and they made sure like if my mom needed something, because we're a close knit family, so it's like if you need, I got you. She taught us to take care of ourselves, how to in-house expectations, like you shouldn't have any dishes in your sink when you go to sleep, like at all. Your kitchen need to be completely clean. Anytime somebody come to visit, your kitchen and your bathroom need to be clean at all times. Like those are going to be the places that people look. Even if your living room is a little messy, kitchen and bathroom completely clean every single time. So anytime somebody's like, all right, I'm on my way, I clean. Even if I just cleaned the bathroom yesterday, I clean the bathroom again. It's just habit for me. I clean the bathroom again, just quick, even if it's just a quick wipe down. If didn't get a chance to get to my kitchen, don't go in my kitchen. Don't go in the kitchen. If it's dishes in the sink, don't even go in the kitchen. You're not even allowed. What do you need? I will bring it to you. Don't even go in the kitchen. It's just certain things that we're taught, but you got to think like previous generations didn't have the privilege. Like just men, women for our generation and the kids under us is just being able to be as emotional as we are, however it may show up, is actually a privilege. That was not something that they were allowed. My grandma remembers when Richmond was, there were part of Richmond that she couldn't go to because she was black. Where now
I'm not surprised.
Where black people primarily live now.
Was it Churchill? Is it Churchill?
You know, it's a bunch of different parts. A bunch of different parts of Richmond. She was like, oh, we couldn't go over there. We couldn't go over there. We couldn't. Like, she remembers that growing up. So you got to think about, like, how they were raised to make sure just when you leave this house, you get home. Yeah, we still teach them when you leave the house, whatever you need to do to get home. But it still was more intense than now. So that hardness comes from survival. My granny had 6 kids by the time she was 26. You know, so that's 8 people because it's her and her husband and all 6 of her kids and 8 people that she got to care for and take care of. And it is a lot. And then that doesn't take on personal issues from her possible relationship with her parents and how that was in her childhood or any traumas that she may have. Generally, they don't even have time to address those. What's a trauma? We don't worry about that. Like, it's my responsibility to make sure you're good. I'm taking care of you so you can go into the world and be great. Like my mom's been working since she was like 14, 15 years old. She always is known to contribute to help take care of other people. She's always helping to take care of the family. It took her to get to her 50s to be like, you know what? I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to put me first. She was harder, you know, she was a bit harder. My aunt's a bit harder, and they also went to the military. So they're a bit harder. Expectations are high. Like seeds were unacceptable in her household. Like, what is this? We're not average. We're above average. This is, you need to perform that way. This is the expectation. Just be your best. Be your best. And she knows what you're capable of because she created you and raised you.
Right.
So some people may look like, oh, that's kind of hard. No, it's not. I'm probably a little bit more savage than my mom was with that.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
But my whole life, she's always told me, even now, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. I'm 32 years old, and even now, she's just like, I don't care if you want to be a nomad, you want to move to every state every year. If you need help, I'm going to help you, whatever it is. Like, it's her, the focus is my happiness. We as a generation are allowed to focus on our personal needs, our happiness, not what we need to do to contribute to the family or the house. And some people call it selfish, But we've learned we have to be selfish to be beneficial to anybody else. So we get the privilege of being a little more emotional and being able to tap into it and see, okay, this situation triggers me. Why does it trigger me? How can I fix it? Like that is all a privilege that we have because they were hard. You get a little, they get softer as you come, but go find somebody great grandma that's in her 90s.
I
To her.
Yeah, I asked a coworker recently because she was on the phone and I was kind of low key eavesdropping, but she mentioned being tough, and that was a few weeks ago. So recently, because of this topic, I asked her, I said, "Hey, why do you feel the need to be tough?" And she mentioned because it's me and my children. It's just me. I feel like I have to be, and that's just kind of unfortunate that women, single mothers, have to feel like that about because they have children or multiple children. Jock in the again in the chat, he said, "How do you guys feel about raising girls to be softer versus raising sons to be harder?" I feel like this is where the big differences in raising kids come from. I personally believe in a person being able to tackle life, but also be open to forming complex and deep emotional bonds. Full disclosure, I don't have any kids, so this is all theory. I think you know what's interesting between the three of us, I'm the only one that have a child. So I know for a fact, that if I had a son, I will be harder. I know this for a fact. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't. I feel like the man has to be tough. The man has to be a man. Man equals tough equals masculinity equals blah 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 blah, and that's just
But what
how
does tough look like though? Like that's
I don't.
a big part of it. What does tough look like? Because my partner
That's a
is
fantastic question, actually. Like,
my partner is very his energy is nothing but dominant energy. I am 100% soft and submissive with him. And that's surprising to so many people who know me
especially
because
me.
I'm assertive, like, no, we're not doing this very much. And he's all of that while still being soft with me. Like he's soft but firm to where like I don't look at him and see, oh girl, that's a man. But I understand that's a man. He is to be respected. He is to be, to me, because that's my partner, to be taken care of, catered to, honored. Because he does the same to me. He takes care of me. He caters to me. He honors me. Like I tell him all the time how much I appreciate him. And it's the same. But you wouldn't think that he was this, like, when I think of tough, I don't think
Aggressive.
aggressive.
Yeah.
To me, he's very tough. He's very strong and like goes through a bunch of shit. And I'm just like, probably would have spazzed, but
You
I
be like,
commend you for
yes, sir.
being calm. I commend you for being calm in that situation because I probably would have flew off the handle and probably wouldn't have made it any better. But I agree with him. Like kids need to be raised. I believe in raising them equally. I don't have any kids biologically, but I contribute to the growth, development, and well-being of a number of children. Mainly my nephew and my little cousin. My little cousin, she was 3 or 4 months when she started living with us. I was 18 years old, so that's my baby. Like I was there when she was born, like hospital first day. That's my baby. That's the closest thing I have to a daughter. My nephew, I was 21 when he was born. That's my baby. I get a say in how they are developing emotionally, and they're being taught the same thing, that as a person, you're allowed to have emotions. As a person, though, you're not about to cry every time somebody upsets you. Like, what's wrong? Evaluate. Why are you feeling this? Do you have to cry about it? Or what are we going to do to solve the problem? I talk them through those feelings. Even when my nephew get mad, he gets really upset with me. And, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk to you right now because you upset me and I'm not in the mood to talk to you. Well, you just no, I don't have to. Like I teach them to respect people's feelings, to respect people's space, to respect people's decisions. You can go, I'm gonna go over here, you can go over there, and then when I'm ready we can talk.
So is that?
If you still want to talk.
So do you think being firm is being tough? I mean, it's probably another conversation, but just going off of what you said just now, is that what you're correlating with tough?
I think it depends on the situation. Like I teach them to be tough outside of the house because you just sometimes you just have to be. Like I was talking to my guy friend and he was like, well, if he's at home and he thinks he can cry at home, he's gonna cry in public. I was like, not necessarily. I was like, I'm a woman and I know at home, my safe space, my family, my friends, I can cry, be vulnerable as ever. I bet not shed a tear at work.
Yeah,
Even if
I'm like that too. Like sometimes I felt whatever, and I wanted to shed a tear, but I'm like, I'm at work.
I
It has
can't,
nothing to do with
like
my masculinity or lack thereof. It's just this is
the
not the place
perception of
for it.
us in society. Like
Yeah.
we're raising them to be people first, humans first, members of society first, but they are also black. So while ideally you would want to not have to consider that, that's not the reality that we have. So it is something that has to be taught. And yeah, okay, you can be upset about this, but how we're gonna manage this outside of the house, how we're gonna manage this at home. And I do say these certain in this space, you're okay, you can cry, you can be whatever. You can feel how you want to feel all your emotions. You want to throw something, go outside and throw a tree. I mean, throw a stick at a tree
I
or
want to say,
whatever.
God damn,
Throw a stick at a tree or whatever the
just
case may
fucking
be.
honk
But
out and just honk, just fling a tree across the state or something or whatever.
But like, you know, when you are outside, when you're engaging with other people and they upset you, we do teach him how to remain calm. We teach the 14-year-old, the teenager, like we're really working on her.
So, seem like you're going through a lot. Just
Because it's a different experience and it's not her. What people don't realize is that girls are mean. Y'all want to talk about like girls being raised like men, but girls are mean as fuck. Little girls, I think I said this before. Little girls are mean, and she's going to high school. It's her first year going to high school, and like my baby got in a fight at the end of the school year last year, and she was like, all these girls in my class with me, and like, so I have to teach her to survive. I gotta teach her to be tough. I gotta teach her to take care of herself. And other people may view that as, oh, she has masculine tendencies. No, she needs to make sure that she's good. She has to make sure that she's good. You know,
Yeah.
if you want a woman to be soft, give her the woman the space to be soft,
so
regardless of how she's raised.
on the
Give her
flip side,
space.
women should give the. Would you say that women should give the men opportunities to be men? In that
I've
same
never
breath?
had to give a man the opportunity to be a man.
He just seized it. He saw it. He seized it.
If you
and
are a man, you're gonna be you. I don't ask you for the space to be a woman. I am
Right.
what I am. Like I have a guy that just moved here, so we are building our friendship. So we've been hanging out. But when I go out, I am a lady. Like dresses, soft. Like it's just I present myself a certain way when I go out. And that's what I do the whole time. The entire time. And he's a man. He does the things that men do. We went out the other day, we went someplace and it was a little sketch. His reaction was like, all right, cool, we need to go. We need to get you out of here because
right.
they just keep looking
He's
at you.
being
Like
the
my
protector.
safety was his concern. And I didn't have to say, oh, here's the space for you to do that. Like I didn't have to ask him. He did it. That he made the decision, he did it. I never have to. If I'm engaging with a guy, one thing that men keep forcing me to do is letting them take out the trash. I forget. I live alone. I gotta take my trash out when I go downstairs. But if most guys when they're here, they're like, don't touch that. I got it. I don't have to create the space. I don't have to say, here, take out the trash for me. If I gotta ask you, then I'm not going. It's fine. I do it on my own all the time. All of them take the initiative. They take the opportunity, I guess. They demand it without demanding it. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Because as far as safety, I
It's
just had a conversation with Vonnie yesterday. I was texting her, and she was telling. I was asking how school was and this, that, and the third, and she was talking about how the kids are being racist, and some white boy was being racist to everybody in the school. Long story short, I asked him I asked her, was they doing that to her? And she was like, no. I said, okay, well, I'm just asking because I said your safety is like the most important thing. And I was talking to her like a man, well, not necessarily a man should care for your safety, even though they should, but I wasn't necessarily telling her that. But I was like, your safety is the utmost importance. So it's interesting that I was just saying that to Avani, and hopefully that sticks with her. Like, you know what I'm saying, men should care for your safety when you know what I'm saying, when they providing for you and this, then the third. And it's just interesting how you said that the man that you was with was concerned for your safety. Jock, again, he said girls in high school especially get into girls in high school especially get into more fights than boys. When I was teaching, I heard so many stories of girls just fucking each other up over anything. It's wild. Uh, Ke- so Kenny just asked. He said, "Was I supposed to be joining the podcast?" No, you was not. No, you was not, Kenny. Don't worry about it. You good? We got you next week. We got you and Jock next week. So, but as far as the he said, "Okay, phew." He got nervous. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. But yeah, he said I was about to say I fucked up. Yeah, no, but you didn't though. You good. Anyway, so as far as the girl, I don't remember many girls fighting that much when I was in high school. But then again, I kind of suppressed anything prior to 2005.
You probably were more antisocial in high school.
I did not talk. I was more surprised. This ain't got nothing to do with the topic, but I was more surprised of who remembered me or who knew me because I really didn't talk to nobody. Like a handful of people. But so I mean, if I didn't care for fighting or who was fighting, so that's probably why I didn't notice. There was more girls fighting. Kenny actually added, he said, actually, girls fought less in high school. Well, maybe this was Bird. But anyway, his opinion is actually girls fought less in high school, and usually the reason why men barely fight as they get older. Yeah, I can agree to that particular opinion. I care less for fighting. I will. Don't get it twisted. I will. But I'd rather not. You know what I'm saying? Because one, fighting hurts, for one. It's painful. I don't like feeling it after the fact. But I've noticed my daughter, whenever she is, and I'm trying to teach her the wins and win nots, as far as, because she wins the same thing about the kid that's being racist. She was like, if he said anything racist to me, he gonna catch these hands. Like, she was just right off rip, like was ready to, and I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, like I get it, but you know what I'm saying? So
Words are not a reason to try to fight people, but
right.
no, like I get it. It's the environment that you grow up in also is what makes a difference. Like most of the girl, I went to public school, I went to the city school, so everybody was from the hood.
Yeah.
Most of them from the projects.
Wait, what high school you went to? John Marshall?
I went to Richmond Community and then transferred to
Oh.
John Marshall second semester of my junior year.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
I went to smart kids.
I'm sorry.
But I'm a true nerd. Yes.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that a lot of people like that I came in contact with, especially like in college, remembered me for the fight that I got in at community. And so when the after school bus used to take us, like we get on our bus and then we go to TJ and pick up TJ kids and then we all go home. So of course the gossip from our school got to TJ.
Yeah.
And like so many people knew about that fight. And then the girl transferred to TJ after that. So not too long after that fight. So like a lot of people knew me for a fight that I got in. I was minding my business. But she started fucking with me and then
That's how it starts.
I just not because I'm like, yo, my mama done cussed me out this morning. I'm failing 2 out of 4 of my classes. I'm stressed. I'm tired. And here you go. And she said something, bitch. And I blacked out. And that was it.
That's how it happens. That's how it starts.
And I mind my business. I've always been the one to mind my business. And I've always been the one that's been picked on. I got in so many fights in middle school for people just fucking with me. So much. Like, but I was grown before I realized why. I had a dude I work with. He was like, you know, you have this way of making people feel uncomfortable. And he was like, he wasn't saying anything, but he was like, it's not your problem. But you make people feel uncomfortable because of how confident in yourself you are and how comfortable with who you are. And
Mm-hmm.
you walk in that and you own it, and everybody can't do that. So that makes other people uncomfortable. And
I,
I'm not the type to in my light. If I have something to say, I'm gonna speak up. If I'm knowledgeable on the topic, we're gonna discuss it. Even down to my at work, like this all this week has just been foolishness at work because we changed managers, and I still have to be like, no, this is what I need. This is firm. Everybody keeps telling me, you need to adjust. You need to consider people's feelings. You need to do. I'm not. Why are y'all trying to police my actions when I'm
yeah,
telling you what I need and giving you facts and why?
that's the
Some
meta I
people
know
make
right there. That's
some
the
people
that's
feel like that's me being masculine and having too much masculine energy. No, I have a job to do. Take my like you pay me to do this job. If I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna work. If I'm not gonna work while I'm here, I'm gonna go home and work on my business. That's always my philosophy. So if I'm expected to do a job, I tell you this is what I need to do the job, and then you tell me no, you don't need that. What? It don't make sense to me.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now I'm petty. Oh, okay, cool. So we're not doing that at all. I've been very petty this week,
I
but
imagine.
some people may feel like me having that assertiveness at work and able to speak and say, this is what I need, this is what we need to do, is masculine energy, or me being raised like a man or acting like a man. When in certain situations, why is that even a male or female trait? We're at work, I have a job to do, this is what I need to do my job. This is just communication.
Mm-hmm.
Why is clear communication, clear and direct communication considered a masculine trait? Like, when you say women are being raised to be men, what parts of how we're being raised? If we're being raised to speak up for ourselves, if we're being raised to speak up for other people, because we know Black women as a whole tend to jump to defend whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me you can't tell me you've been somewhere and it's been a Black mom or a Black grandma and somebody else got something going on and they don't speak up on it. Or, baby, what you doing? Why are you over there doing that? You know your mama wouldn't like that. Like, you can't tell me you haven't had that experience. We are mothers to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that just comes with certain things needed to be in place. Firmness, assertiveness, us being able to speak up and be direct. People expect women to be meek. Meek women don't get shit done. Things don't move if a woman is meek and can't speak up and make sure that she is heard. And you can be heard without being dismissive of other people, without being disrespectful to other people, and without offending other people.
So Kenny, a lot was said in the chat. I'm not even gonna go through all of that to be honest. But Kenny said, to be honest, the last thing he said was, to be honest, I don't care if you're at work and you're I guess assertive. You're at work, but they can't turn it off when they come home. It's usually the issue. What are
But
your thoughts on that?
what space are you providing that woman to turn that off?
Oh,
Like,
Kenny.
are you giving, does she feel safe with you? Does she feel like you are giving her the room to be soft? Because if I'm with you and I feel like I gotta come home and make all the decisions on my own, if I'm talking to you and I say, okay, well, what do you think about this? What do you want to do about it? And you can't make a decision, I gotta make all the decisions. Why am I being soft with you? Why am I being submissive with you? You're not helping me. I'm having to take care of you and the kids or whatever else is going on. No, like, let it be a partnership. Give me that space to be soft, just like the woman should give the man space to relax, to not have to feel like y'all are on 10. Like, you and your partner should have the space to be your most vulnerable selves with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That your partnership, your relationship should be your ideal safe space. This is a person that you chose.
Right, and then Kenny was saying, if you don't feel safe, if she don't feel safe, then you shouldn't be with him. Jock, in all caps, said yes! Exclamation point, and he said this, and then the little arrow thing.
No, right? You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. But there's also like levels of comfort in relationships. In my situation, it's been almost a year, and we got to a certain point, and I was just like, I actually feel more secure than I did previously. And when I got to that point of being more secure in my situation with him, I became even more submissive than I was, even softer than I was. And then what y'all don't realize is that when we do that, that sometimes can create an issue for us outside of our relationship.
What do you mean?
Because, well, I've gotten way more emotional outside because my situation with him, I'm always soft. I'm always submissive. I'm always this.
So you forget where you are or something, or
Whereas if I'm at work, I'm at work. I'm assertive, Quinetta. I am like, we got to get things done. This is the plan, X, Y, and Z. But if I'm texting him, talking to him, or whatever, that softness has to be there in that engagement. One day he upset me, and I cried my entire lunch break. I spent an hour crying my entire lunch break. Right. Me crying over something because he said something to me. Like, that doesn't sound like the me that you know, right? So I also got to understand sometimes it takes us time to find that balance, to be soft with y'all and still be hard in the world, because we have to be. When y'all aren't around, when y'all aren't with us, we still got to protect ourselves. We still got to make sure that we're okay emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Like, we have to make sure we're okay. But sometimes it takes some women time to adjust and turn that switch off and on.
yeah. Kenny said you didn't answer his question. I don't know what.
What question?
I don't know. But Jock got your back. Apparently, Jock said how so. I'm assuming that's directed to what Kenny said. So hopefully, Kenny. He said if you don't have any of those things, you shouldn't be with the person. I think.
If you don't have safety, don't be with the person. That's definitely, if this person doesn't make you feel safe, I don't care if it's your friend. If this person doesn't make you feel safe, you don't need to be in nowhere with them. Don't go nowhere. Then don't do nothing with them.
Yeah.
No. Like, if you come visit me and I don't feel safe, like, it's a mutual thing. You should know that I got you, you got me. Because, again, as black women, we have to protect our black men too. It's not one-sided. Which we do. We do it. We may not necessarily always protect y'all physically, but I feel like it is it's our responsibility to protect y'all spiritually, emotionally, and mentally a lot of the times. Like, and I don't mean protect as in like make you feel like you can't do anything, but just give you what you need to be okay in those areas. Like, I'm not a religious person, but I have my spiritual practice, but I pray for my partner all the time. Like, that is my way of helping him. That's the spiritual aspect of helping him. And then I make my suggestions of, well, I tried this, or my therapist told me this, and I did this meditation, or listen to this song, or listen to this app. These things can help you calm your thoughts. And then discussions of emotional discussions, like, okay, how you're responding to me this way, because you also got to remember, like, emotional intelligence is an important thing when dealing with each other too. So if neither person is emotionally intelligent and y'all are expecting things to be healthy, it may not. Like, I get responses from him and I have to say, hey, instead of me reacting like, no, don't say that to me, don't talk to me that way, and being very aggressive, my response is, hey, I understand you're upset. However, I'm not the trigger.
Damn.
What can I do?
That's
to help
profound.
you feel
Profound words.
Like, what can I do to help you feel better? I know you're frustrated. Is there something that I can do to aid in relieving your frustration? Like, and if it's no, then it's no. Okay, I'm gonna give you some space. It's none of it is one-sided. It all takes both partners in the situation and it takes a lot to even recognize that a person lashing out to you is not because of you. It takes a lot to identify that and say, you know what, I'm not going to respond to your actions. I see why. Let me step back so that you can be okay.
Yep.
That is not an easy.
Kenny said all men usually want is peace. Yeah, Kenny was saying, like, all men usually, we just want peace. And I agree. I just want to come home and just woosah. You know what I mean?
We're tired too. We want some peace too.
Yeah, not saying that. Yeah, not saying that women don't. I'm just commenting on what Kenny said. So, but this has been a good conversation. I enjoyed it. It's been an hour-long conversation. I like that.
I mean, this one was a decent topic, like I said, but in most people have their opinions about how women are raised. You just gotta realize it's a lot. It's multi-layered. It's not just one-sided, and religion needs to be taken out of it. Our conversation period. Like Jock said, we humans. Like
Yeah.
it's people for their survival and their ability to thrive in life. I think a lot of us were raised to survive, and now we're raising our kids to like live their life and thrive and do more than just survive.
Yeah, it's not necessarily raising them women or girls to grow up to be men. It's just teaching them how to survive and be able to function as a member of society, how to be independent.
And it's dangerous to be a woman. It is dangerous. Like you gotta think. Most black women look young. Like I know I don't look like I'm about to be 33 years old, especially depending on what I got on, how I'm dressed. Most of the time I got a book bag, so I look like I'm probably somewhere in college or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have to, like I said, we have to be tough. Worried about our safety, our physical safety. Like, a whole bunch. Physical safety. If I'm in an elevator and it's three dudes if I'm getting on an elevator, it's three dudes on the elevator, I probably won't get on. Just because that's something I have to think about, whereas you as a man wouldn't second guess it. There's three ladies on the elevator, you get on the elevator, you ain't thinking about it.
No, not at all.
So different experiences.
So thank you for having this conversation. One last thing that Kenny said, he said a woman said she was raised by her mom to be strong and to take on the world, but she said that it came on too hard and it backfired. I don't know what the story is with that, but I guess sometimes it can backfire.
Yeah, if the woman is made to force her to be too tough, there's a balance. There's a skill in finding balance.
And Josh said it's the comfort with going high octane when we are at home with, oh wow, that's a big word, metaphorical billies exposed. I'm not even gonna try to break that down. I'll probably Google that word later because that's a tough one. But yeah, thank you for having this conversation with me. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for having me again.
Oh, vulnerable. That's what it means. Vulnerable. Thank you for breaking it down. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and we gonna have another conversation. I'm gonna find another topic for us to discuss. But thank you though. So as far as the viewers, Kenny, Jock, whoever else was there, thank you for being interactive. You made this episode a success. I was worried slightly on no interaction. Well, I knew Jock was going to talk. I didn't expect Kenny to come, even though he was worried about the wrong stuff. Next time, have me in it. Oh, yes, sir. I'll have you and Jock next week. So anyway, thank you, Netta, once again.
All right, y'all.
All right.